Welcome back. It's Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. Shout out to Sexy Chris. We're gonna try and get him on today because I'm super interested to learn more, like the real details of what's going on with like the whole Donald Trump trial stuff. Um, I don't really know enough about it to like get that deep into it, other than he was found guilty on 34 counts of felonies, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe we'll try and get him back on Tuesday. If not, maybe next week. I'm sure it's going to be an ongoing, like developing thing. Um, but I think it's interesting. Have you heard anything from anyone, like any of your clients saying anything about it, or
So here's the main issue, right? I would like to know what's going on
yeah,
out of genuine curiosity, because anytime a former president, you know, current candidate gets caught, convicted of, right? Convicted?
yeah,
Because
he was
it's
convicted.
it's it's ruled, right?
Yeah, 34 counts.
34 counts of felony charges. I would really, really like to know, not opinions, but facts. I just want to know what the fucking facts are.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, there's no way to get that because I just, and also, so I know he's been convicted, but he hasn't been sentenced, right?
correct.
So the
Sentencing
other,
is July 11th.
so the other piece is like, that's all well and good. Like, he's guilty of the 34 counts, but like, what does it mean? Does it
Yeah.
actually even mean anything?
So from everything that I've gathered, and again, we can dive more into this another time if I get some more info, or if we can get Chris back on at some point. Like I said, maybe Tuesday. He had to work an overnight, so he was like, "Dude, I gotta go to sleep." And I was like, "Yeah, totally understand it." Um, but from my understanding, it's so. Let me start with the second part of what you said, the sentencing. From what I can gather about sentencing, because it's a considered a white collar crime, right? And he's a first time offender. I think typically what happens is you just have to pay a fine, right? So like whatever the maximum fine is probably what the judge would do. Like if it's anywhere from like 50 to $50, right? Like just a regular $50 fine up to like $100,000, the judge will probably just slap him with the 100,000, like whatever the maximum is. Everything I've seen says that for something like this, a first time offense, it's like 99% you do not get jail time. But it could be up to 4 years in jail. So if the judge comes down and says you're going to get 4 years in jail, um, I think there's going to be big problems.
Well, there isn't going to be a big problem because there's going to be an appeal. And
Right.
then, like, so this is the thing. It's like, I really don't want our judicial system to go any other way, but nothing can be settled. Dude, it's fucking, today is, uh, oh my God, June
June
6th,
2nd.
6/2. Today's 6
Yeah.
2, June 2nd. That's like fucking 5 weeks away
Right.
plus,
Right.
because the sentencing came down last week. Oh, I'm sorry, the conviction came down last week. It's like 6 weeks away before we get to sentencing. And then by the time sentencing comes around, then you have to throw in an appeal. Then
Right.
by the time you do the appeal process, you're gonna have the elect. Like, it's just gonna be like an insufferable mess.
Yeah. And not to mention, too, I saw someone who works for CNN, right? So this this is saying something. It's like one of the legal experts who works for CNN. I saw a clip on Twitter. He came out and he said he doesn't understand how this was a conviction. And he said that an appeal would win. He goes, if and when Trump appeals this, he will win his appeal. Just because of
And
the way the
assume,
case was put together. He was like, the judge didn't make any sense the way things happen. He goes, I just don't understand how this came down the way it did.
I feel like this is almost like
And that's again someone that works
in
for
the
CNN.
NFL. In the NFL, if you rule it a touchdown, you get an automatic review out of it. So even
Yeah.
if you don't think he's in,
Right.
call it a touchdown,
Yeah.
and then it can go to New York and they can solve it from there. So it's almost like
Yeah.
if you're a little bit unsure of, well, just fucking convict him because he can always appeal and win.
Yeah.
But if you acquit him, then there's no going back because
Because I guess,
because then it would be double jeopardy at that point.
right. And I guess one of the things that is the issue is the judge told the jury, which apparently is unprecedented. The judge told the jury that it doesn't matter which crime that he committed, as long as they agree that he committed a crime, he could be convicted of the felony charge. So what I heard, and again, I'm kind of fucking this up, but from what I heard, right, there's 12 judges. There were 3 crimes alleged. The jury, I feel like the guy from Cousin Vinny, ladies and gentlemen of the juror, uh, the jury didn't have to unanimously agree on one charge. It could have been 4, 4, and 4, right? So 4 of them could have said, "Oh, this one thing is it guilty?" Other 4 could have been like, "Well, we agree with number 2," and the third group could have been like, "Well, we think number 3 was guilty."
This is why I can't.
As long as they all agreed that a crime occurred, then they could charge him with the felony, which the felony charge itself is misuse of campaign funds. That's the whole thing boils down to misuse of campaign funds, meaning that he took money that was supposed to be for his campaign and didn't use it for his campaign. And that's a felony. So there were 3 other charges, right? And amidst that, and all the jury had to do was say, "Oh yeah, no, that of 1, 2, and 3, yeah, one of those is a crime that he's guilty of. So then we'll slap him with the felony." Like it doesn't. Again, I don't understand law. I don't know how it works. I don't understand the process. But everything I'm hearing from people talking on Twitter and on podcasts is that that's unprecedented, and the judge tanked the whole trial, right? Because again, if and when he appeals, he will win. Again, out of the mouth of a legal correspondent of CNN, and CNN has a notorious track record of orange man equals bad, right? And the legal expert for that company said, "Oh yeah, no, he'll win an appeal, hands down," because the judge was such a dick and had such a bias against Trump that it was basically a kangaroo court.
And this is why the world is fucking insufferable, right?
Yeah.
It can't. It's because that's the other thing. I hear he's convicted of 34, and I'm like, okay, well then he's fucking guilty.
Right.
Oh well, it's like, oh come on. There's always a fucking well or a
Yep.
but, and I'm like,
Yep.
everyone has. Again, it's like it's all opinions. It's not facts, and it's like I know the legal system. Again, I don't really want it to be a different way, but now it's like this case is going to drag on forever. And now, because he was convicted, they're going to start arguing semantics and process. And now, whether he did or didn't misuse campaign funds is actually almost irrelevant because in the court of law, he did. As of today, he did.
Yeah. Which is also kind of sketchy because he misused funds was Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels hush money, right? So he paid so Trump's lawyer paid the prostitute $130,000 of hush money, which later on Michael Cohen got reimbursed for by Donald Trump. So Cohen didn't take money from Trump and the campaign to pay Stormy Daniels. He paid her and then later got reimbursed. And they're claiming that reimbursement came from campaign funds money. So like when you want to really stretch this out and be like, "Oh, this is really what we're doing here. This is what we're doing here." Like the more you dig into it, the more it's like, wow, it's kind of really stupid.
And it's fucking nauseating. It's like
Yeah,
from a guy that really, and again, you don't have to be like, I hope no one else is like me, where it's like, I think all politicians are cunts. I don't vote
correct.
because generally both candidates are fucking assholes. I also don't really vote because in Massachusetts, my vote does not matter at the national level. Like most people would be like, "You're an idiot," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I am," but like this is the type of shit from like what I would just like an unbiased observer, I guess. I don't even know. I'm not even really observing. But I'm like, this is fucking nauseating, man. Like this is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
And now, okay, and this is the other thing. Like someone will be like, hey man, you really should consider voting. Why? I got a guy who might be a fucking convicted felon over fucking line items in QuickBooks. Because that's all it is. Like, don't fucking get
right.
me wrong. Like, from
Yeah,
what you just told me, if what you just told me is correct,
yeah,
then over line items in QuickBooks and the inability to send a bill to fucking cover their ass. Like bad accounting is why this guy might be a convicted felon. So, first of all, he's not smart enough to have the correct accountant to do the right work. And the lawyer's fucking stupid enough to accept the money for the exact amount, knowing who the fuck it's coming from and what the repercussions are.
right.
So clearly we're dealing with some fucking geniuses here. Like, I
Yeah,
fucking know that. Like, all you had to do was send him 155K. It's a different number. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You couldn't
yeah,
fucking figure that out?
yeah,
Or like you couldn't make a donation on his behalf. Like you couldn't fucking figure that out somehow. It's Trump's lawyer. Donate 130K on his behalf and it's all fucking equal. Like the guy probably makes a fucking $1 million a year. Like
right.
so and then I'm supposed to either vote for that guy or I'm supposed to vote for the one that's fucking old and decrepit.
The invalid.
Like like that's what I'm supposed to do as a good American.
Yeah.
You're shitting me, right? It's fucking nauseating, man. It's
Yeah,
absolutely nauseating. And then never mind, like I just told you, I can't even look up the facts because I don't know where to find them.
right,
If I Google right now, if I Google Trump case, I'm going to see CNN. Oh, I can't listen to CNN. I'm going to see Fox. Can't listen to Fox.
right,
And then it's like, well, it's this and it's that and it's this and that. I'm like, I have no idea who to trust. Like, I don't know who to listen to. And never mind, someone's going to give their stupid fucking opinion in it. And they're
right,
not just going to say, like, Trump was found guilty on 34 cases. We're going to list them out at the bottom of the article so that if you don't want to read them, you don't have to. Something with the jury, whatever, was 4, 4, and 4. Um, he's set to be sentenced July 11th in New York, whatever. Then like you have like a
yeah,
space in the article, like a page break or something. It goes, according to ex legal expert from fucking CNN, whatever the fuck. It's like, oh well, when he goes to appeal, he'll win an appeal. According to legal expert, fucking God knows what, and as interviewed by whoever. Yeah, we expect him to appeal. We expect this to take like a long time. It's gonna be long drawn out, way after the election, and after appeal, we expect the charges to be dropped or whatever.
right,
Like, give the opinions after that, but like, just tell me what the fuck happened. And
right,
there's no article that I'm gonna find that. Well, I mean, I have to read through the bullshit,
right, right.
and frankly, I just don't fucking care because now it sounds like whatever I read today doesn't matter because we have
Yeah,
sentencing in 6 weeks. And then after sentencing, doesn't matter because 6 weeks after sentencing, he can probably file his appeal, which will take every day of it, even though he knows he's going to appeal now. He can't
right,
just appeal the day after. That'll take 6 weeks. Then once the appeal goes through, yeah, your court date's set for February 2025. Cool, man. Like,
right, right.
it's like, oh, isn't this guy supposed to be going to jail? No, no, no. He's got an appeal February 2025.
Yeah,
Cool. This is awesome. Like after fucking inauguration day, dude,
right,
like it writes itself. I know
right.
nothing about politics, and I just wrote out the timeline.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's basically probably how it's going to happen. There's
Stupid.
one other thing that I don't really understand. But one of the things I heard was the 34 counts also is actually the same charge 34 times, because to your point, because it's basically an accounting issue, it's however many months happened, you have that charge to cover the amount of time. So like, again, this is what I don't really understand. The amount of months that happened in between like the event and then maybe like something else that happened is why it's 34 counts, because there were 34 months that happened in between like two events or something like that. Again, a little fuzzy, and I'm hoping that Chris can kind of, give us a little bit more info here. Um, but yeah, man, it's kind of wild. So my thing, right? So this was probably 2 weeks ago. Um, I try very hard to keep my politics out of work, right? And my
That's the smartest thing you've ever said.
coworkers
Congratulations for not being
and
retarded in that
yeah.
regard.
So whenever like where there's like a bunch of my coworkers are in the same spot, they all get talking, they all say stupid things. They're all like, "Oh yeah, no, I can't let Trump come back. No, no, no. Oh, that fucking guy. Oh man, can you believe this, that, whatever." So I finally was having a conversation. It was just one on one with one of the guys that I work with who was talking and actually made a really good point, and he seemed, you know, mostly level headed, right? Because whenever I find myself in those
Oh, that's
situations
that's
at work,
interesting.
I just go, yeah, can't believe it. Like, I don't like, so I guarantee
What is
you,
it? Is it not another teen movie where I'm just the token black guy. All I'm supposed to say is damn shit and that's
yeah,
whack or something.
damn. Oh, shit. That's literally what I do when it comes to talking politics at work. Just like, yeah, man, that's nuts. I can't believe that. Oh man, that's kind of wild, right? Like that's basically what I do. And so people at work are probably like, "Oh yeah, no, obviously Jared doesn't like Trump. There's no way." Which, not that I do, right? I don't like him, but I like the chaos that comes with him. um
I'm actually starting to not anymore.
he's
I
he's
used to.
certainly the better of the two choices, right? He can actually run the country and not sit there and fucking drool on himself. Um, and not know how to walk off of a stage because he can't find the right direction to leave in. But regardless, so I had a conversation with this one guy. We were talking. He was like, "Yeah, this whole thing is just stupid. Like it's like two guys." He basically said a watered down version of what you said, right? Because at this point he wasn't a convicted felon, but it was like you got an asshole, and then you have a guy that has dementia, right? And that's what he said. And I was like, yeah, man. And then he brought up like the whole trial and everything like that. And I go, listen, man, I go, I don't do this much, but the one thing I will say to you that I feel like people don't really think of is this is dangerous, what's happening right now, because you have a sitting president that is doing seemingly whatever he can to not only smear a political opponent who happened to be a former president, but also try and put him in jail. And I go, whether or not Trump ends up in jail is out of my hands, right? There's nothing I can do about that. That's for a judge and a jury to determine. And if he goes to jail, whatever. But I go, however, what you're doing is setting a very ugly precedent, because now everyone is all up in their arms, right? Oh, Trump is awful. Trump is bad. Orange man bad. I go, what happens in 8 years from now, 12 years from now, 24 years from now, or 26 years from now, whatever the math is? Like, when there's someone worse than Trump, right? And I go, you can sit here right now and look at me and be like, oh, there's no one worse than Trump. But how do you know that 20 years from now, there isn't someone that's worse than Trump? Did
I'll tell you
anyone
right
20
now that
years ago predict that this would happen now? Did anyone in 2000 could ever imagine that we'd be going through this right now? And I go, this is dangerous. This opens up the door for a path to someone worse to step in and now use this as legal precedent to wipe out any political opposition. And I go, that's really bad. That's how you get dictators. And that's how you get really awful things that happen in countries. And he just looked at me and was like, oh, I never really thought of it like that. I go, yeah, well, I do.
The other thing too is what you just mentioned is an extreme, like it is. Like,
Right,
let's not beat around the bush. There are lifelong politicians that would fit that type of mold.
right,
This guy ain't a, and that's the thing. This guy ain't a lifelong politician. I don't know
right.
how the fuck he ended up winning that election. I don't know how the fuck he did it. The fucking apprentice and the guy who owns like every fucking golf course
Because people
somehow,
really hated Hillary that much.
yeah, she really sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lifelong politician with a really like extreme outlook,
Yeah.
not great. Now, hopefully, the rest of the country, because we know if someone's that fucking crazy, they're gonna be a Democrat, and it's gonna be like way too far to that side. Like someone who's way too far to the right, people are gonna fucking go is like they're gonna call him a Nazi, and that'll be the end of it. But
Right.
um, yeah, I mean, someone with like really, really crazy views, like that far left mentality, like, dude, that could happen. Like a lifelong politician that's never been told no or never had to use common sense or
Right.
never really like problem solved in the real world, only knows politics and only knows how to be a scumbag.
Right.
Yeah,
And the
it's
thing is,
possible.
if you're
It's
talking
definitely
20 years from
possible.
now, that
It's only gonna
person
be
might
worse.
that person might not even have gotten elected yet. That person 20 years from now might not even be in Congress, might not even
Or they
be
might be a
in the
fucking
Senate.
intern right now, but
Right. Right.
or they're fucking intense in a college somewhere. Like,
Right.
I mean, it's certainly possible. I'm not gonna say I expect it, but
Yeah.
if you take the extreme, yeah, and it seems like people are getting more and more extreme these days. I don't know. So
But so what this also does too is now if Trump wins, right, he's going to then go after Biden. You know, I know this for a fact, right? He's going to go after Biden and try and get him thrown in jail and convicted of whatever, right? Of conspiring with Ukraine and his son and all that stuff, which there's actual legitimate evidence there about his son and the whole Ukraine like taking money from foreign businesses in China and things like that. Like there's some smoke there.
is there an alternative where if Trump does win, he just decides like, you know what, putting him in jail, too much work. I'm just gonna sit up here and talk shit about him every day. Like,
No, he'll probably do it anyway. So we know this for a fact, right? Because it's already happened. Because what's been happening since Obama, anytime they've tried to bring in a new Supreme Court justice, the opposite side goes, "Oh no, we're not doing that." Right? And then they're like, "Oh, they smear campaign whoever that they're trying to put in the Supreme Court." And then the other side gets power and they try and nominate Supreme Court justices, and then the other side does the exact same thing. So all this is doing too is then opening the door for if Trump wins to then turn around and do the exact same thing to Biden afterwards.
that's
And
why I
it's
was
like,
wondering if he, not his following, if he was smart enough to go, you know what, I'm in. I don't have another term anyway. Like I'm done. You know, I'll troll the fuck out of this guy, but I'm not I'm not doing all this psychotic shit.
yeah, I
Like
think I think he's vindictive enough, dude. He's a New
well, no,
York
he is.
businessman.
No,
He's an
he
old
is.
school New York businessman.
I know, but the political system isn't isn't business. Everything's documented, everything's
Right,
transparent, everything's out there. Now I know everything's out there for him now. That's because he got in trouble, but
right.
It would be way better if it would be way better if he just posted funny shit about him every day. Like how what is it, Jose Canseco that tweets every day about how he fucking hates Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah. So yesterday, because it was the first day of Pride Month, Jose Canseco tweeted and goes, "Happy Pride Month" to Alex Rodriguez.
He hates that fucking guy. Or it's like how like Antonio Brown posts his like one person, whatever, his a
Yeah.
day, insert racial slur here, like cracker
Yeah.
of the day or insert
Yeah.
racial slur. Like, wouldn't it just be way funnier if he did that?
It would actually. That would be amazing.
And that's like, I don't know. It would be nice if it went back to like every day. It's the fucking president every fucking
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
man.
Like I miss the days when no one gave a shit about the president.
Like no one knew what they were doing, and
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter.
no, it fucking really doesn't.
I mean, we talk
So
about this all the time,
all
right?
the time.
The inflated sense of self and ego that you have to think that the president affects your daily life. Fuck out of here with that, dude. You're not important. You're not that
Nope,
important.
nope, you aren't.
So yeah, but that's my that's my beginner's understanding of what's going on. But like I said, I'm interested to learn like the actual facts, the deal, and all that stuff.
Trial
Um,
101.
yeah. So shifting gears a little bit outside of that, I want to touch on golf for a little bit. Congratulations to Nelly Corda for being snake bitten by my money.
Oh, that's why she made 10.
Yep.
Why didn't you fucking tell me that on
Yep.
Thursday?
So for anyone that doesn't know about the LPGA, Nelly Corda is basically like
She won
the
6 out of 7
she's the
events.
Scotty Scheffler of the
Yeah,
LPGA.
we haven't seen this shit since Sorenstone.
Yeah, she won 5 in a row
I think it was 5 in a row and 6 of 7.
and 6 out of 7 events.
One
Um,
major.
so this week was the women, or this past week was the women's US Open. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, she's like 4-1, but like she's won 6 out of 7, like 4-1. That's still solid money. You bet $10, you walk away with 40, right? Like this is no big deal, whatever. It's not like I bet like tons of money anyway. So I bet $10 on Nelly Corda 4-1 to win the women's US Open. And in round one on Thursday, on a par 3, she made a 10. The woman that has been absolutely crushing people, stepping on their throats to win 6 out of the last 7 and 5 in a row events, including one major. I bet $10 on her. And in round one, on a par 3, she makes a 10.
That's pretty good cursing, man. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I actually watched the video of that too. It was fucking ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. So shout out to Nelly Corda. Even she is not immune to my curse. I've just been so bad this year.
I
And
stopped. I fucking stopped.
I
I could not. I've said it. I couldn't see the board. Guys,
yeah,
I'd taken the wrong week. It was a fucking mess. I
yeah,
fucking gave up on it.
yeah. I think
I go, I'm missing something, and I don't know what I'm missing, and I don't know if it's just like crazy variation or what. Like I'm not. Again, I'm not getting it. Like,
yeah.
just wasn't working for me.
But even like this week, right? So I bet Tommy Fleetwood to finish top 10. And I had top 20s on Corey Connors, Shane Lowry, Cam Young, and Alex Noren. Alex Noren has been playing lights out, like he's great, whatever. All this. Cam Young, Alex Noren missed the cut. Okay, whatever, no big deal. Going into Sunday, Tommy Fleetwood was T5, and I had a top 10 on him. Corey Connors, I think, was maybe like T11 or something like that. I don't know, or T7. I don't know. He was up there too. He was pretty high. And then Shane Lowry was like T31, right? Like he was close to top 20. Corey Connors finished sixth. Tommy Fleetwood finished T21, and Lowry finished T33. Like, even going into Sunday, I had two of my remaining three picks close and a potential to hit all three to give me 3 out of 5 for the weekend after my other two top 20s missed the cut. Right. So I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, it's fine. Like this morning I looked and I was like, okay, if I go 3 of 5, like that's a good weekend. One, hit Corey Connors top 20, Tommy Fleetwood top 10, missed. Even so, it makes me feel better that even if I took him top 20, it would have been a miss too. But going like before he teed off today, he was in fifth place and he finished T21. So it's like I can't do, I'm right there with you. I can't see the board. I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on. I've taken weeks off here and there and come back and tried to do this and tried to do something different. And one week I didn't even make a model, right? Because I got into BetSperts Golf to use their rabbit hole for like a promo code through Vivid Picks. So it only cost me $5 for the year. So like I go through and I've been making models all year and do all this, which I did last year, right? And if you remember, last year I crushed. I think I was up, I forget what it was, but I think I was up like 80 units last year. I won a ton of money. My record was sub 500, but I hit a couple outrights and a couple first round leaders. So I was plus money, and I think I was plus like somewhere around 80 units last season. And this season, I think I'm down 21 units, right? So obviously it's the law of averages kind of coming back to bite me in the ass. But like, man, is it frustrating to like not be able to figure it out. Like I'm not doing anything different, right? Like I said, some weeks I don't make a model and I just use the other guys that work at BetSperts Golf, and I pull up like 3 different models and kind of compare them side by side and go, oh, this guy's top 10 in all 3 of their models. So maybe I'll take him to finish top 20, and it's a miss, right? And it's like, I just can't figure it out. Uh, I almost called him Frankie Borelli. What the fuck's the guy's actual name? I just can't win a
From
damn
what?
bet.
Oh, Pirelli.
Pirelli, yeah. The other Long Island Italian name. Like I'm literally Frankie Pirelli. Like I just can't win a bet. I can't do it right now. And I don't know. I'll probably end up taking this week off after flubbing the
What event is
Canadian
this?
Open. Um,
Week before the U.S.
the
Open.
Memorial.
Oh, you see, so here we are back to another signature event. So, like, I just went through the top 20 here. So, like, if you wanted to, like, so obviously it's a Canadian, it wasn't a signature event. So, like, Roar's top 20, the odds would have sucked, but hey, it would have hit.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Kim generally has been playing like complete shit all year.
Yeah.
Ben Griffin, Victor Perez, Robert McIntyre. That wouldn't have popped up on anyone's models anywhere.
No.
Nowhere.
No.
Like Mackenzie Hughes is a name, but he's not very good. Maverick McNeely this year, the guy has like finished top 20s in actually signature events included. He's been there.
Right.
Like Torrey Connors hits the fuck out of his irons. Ryan Fox hits the fuck out of the tee ball. Keith Mitchell hits the fuck out of the tee ball. Joel Damon showed up like out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Sam Burns, Bo Hostler. Like Bo Hostler's been kicking around. I mean, Sam Burns is way better than all these people, but
But
like,
he's
where have
played
you
like
been?
shit this year.
And that's the
He's
thing. It's
done
like
nothing
you
this whole
never
season.
know when. So I think, and this is the problem. So I've actually noticed this is the problem with modeling. And I know you offered up like, oh, if you want to go to BetSperts. My only thing with the gambling is there are people modeling and they're way better at it than I am.
Right.
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 So modeling then becomes really, really difficult unless you, and I've said this about the NFL before, unless you're using it against public opinion, right?
Right.
So I don't know what the narrative was going into this golf course. I don't even know where they played. I know it was Hamilton, Ontario,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Hamilton, Ontario. I don't know what the golf course was. And I don't know what they said about it. Did they say it was a bomber's paradise? I have no clue.
They changed it. So they redid it since they were there in 2019 when Rory won. But they said the narrative going in was basically you need to be a great ball striker or hit the fuck out of the ball to cut off like some of the dog legs.
So now you see Keith Mitchell, you saw Andrew Novak. Um, there was another guy. I don't know. I forget. But everyone there was another guy that's great off the tee. There's another one but then you think about it and it's like, oh well, Cam Young. Cam
Yeah.
Young's he's great off the tee.
Right.
Cam Young is a fucking bum.
Yes, he is.
Like, and he needs to really prove. So when I called Scotty Scheffler a bum earlier in the season, it was being a little facetious. Now he was playing like a bum,
Right.
but his ability to turn it around happened fast, and that's why I pulled the bum tag right away because it's all you need to do is win one for me.
Right.
Now he's won fucking four since then, but um, and gotten arrested. So, but like Cam Young is a bum.
Yes.
He has shown nothing but potential on the PGA Tour. Well, potential doesn't fucking win anything. Now, I think people are gonna be like, "Oh, sneaky play, him at Pinehurst, hit the ball far." He is a bum until
Yeah.
further notice.
Yeah.
Now, I would be writing this down if I were you. So they probably thought like, "Oh, well, if he's Cam Young hits the ball far, like cut off those dog legs, like this might be his chance. Weaker field, blah 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 blah." Nope, missed the cut.
Yeah.
Alex Noren, probably third this year in fucking strokes gain approach, right? Something like
Yep.
that. Something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. He is top in the league.
Yeah. And it's like he's been finishing pretty well. He's been top 20, around top 20. He doesn't get the love that people give him. Well, sometimes those odds are that's why. Because he was not making this cut or he was not making this top 20.
Right.
Now, obviously, dude's going to run like Sam Stevens. I think Sam Stevens finished top 20 today.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Right.
like I know he's like a Corn Ferry Monday qualifier guy, but like that's the thing. It's like just fucking really hard. I don't know. And it's like I'm not like picking golf was never easy, but it did seem easier before the signature events to pick a top 20. That it did seem that way before because I don't think when you have weaker fields, you get more variation. And when you have stronger fields, which are the signature events, you get way less variation. So it's like you
Right.
usually don't like the first 7 guys on the odds board because for them to finish top 20, it's kind of shitty math.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like the amount of time that they're going to have to actually finish top 20, not 22, doesn't really like work out mathematically. Well, those 7 guys still might finish top 20. So now you only have 13 spots to fucking figure it out. And if you add in like, 6, 7 random guys that just fucking light it up for the week, like that's only 6 or 7 guys that you can get top 20. And you have like your long shots that everyone's always going to take, or you have this. And it's like, man, I don't know. Like you might have to start going into the shit that like most of like the DFS guys are not like looking at, which frankly, there's not a whole lot. Like they're kind
No.
of looking at everything.
No.
But it's a Nicklaus course next week, so I don't know what that means for you. Who plays good on a Nicklaus?
Yeah. Hovland.
Well, who played well at Valhalla? Valhalla was a Nicklaus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Bear Trap. Where's the Bear Trap? Is that Bay Hill?
Yeah.
Bay
Yep.
Hill's a Nicklaus.
So I looked it up. Alex Noren is second this year in strokes gained total and third in strokes gained tee to green.
Yeah, missed the cut.
And he missed the
How the
cut.
fuck is that possible?
Yep. He's
Like
third in strokes gained around the green.
in a weak field, how do you miss the cut?
Yeah.
You're third tee to green.
Yeah. Because I took him.
Maverick McNeely.
because I bet him to finish top 20. That's how you miss the cut.
Mav's hot this year.
Yeah, I don't know what Maverick McNeely where he's ranking, but
Well, and then this is the other part too, right? Because I like strokes gained. I think it's really important. It gives you a really good idea about who is in fact hitting the ball well. But it's almost like with strokes gained, sometimes you're getting a little bit of the um you're getting a little bit of almost like the workout warriors, like, oh, the numbers are really, really good, but yeah, but they're not getting the ball in the cup in a timely fashion,
right,
right?
right,
So like Maverick McNeil, I just pulled him up. Strokes gained total, he's 11th. He's a 106 and approach the green. So nobody wants him because that approach number is just too shitty.
right,
But his results in 14 starts, in he's made the cut 12 times. He has 5 top 25s, and the PGA was a 23. Everything else would pay a top 20. So it's like that's a guy that can get you over the finish line, but like, how do you know when to time him out? Because Farmers 37, Pebble Beach 39, Phoenix 6.
yeah,
Then Mexico is 13, but at PJ National it's 41. So it's almost like, again, like, how do you time this guy out?
right,
And also his top 20 today. So that probably makes 15 events with 6 top 25s. So just, I don't know with some of these guys.
yeah. And then just real quick, while we're still on golf, and I started about talking about Nelly Corda to bring it back to the LPGA. Lexi Thompson is retiring. She announced she's 29 years old. She announced that she's retiring from golf at the end of this year due to mental health concerns.
Yeah. I mean, she turned pro when she was like fucking 15. So
Yeah,
she's effectively had a full career.
yeah, yeah. I mean, she's made plenty of money.
And that, and like, yeah, well, she's made a lot of money. I don't know what she plans to do going forward, but that's not my problem. And I,
Right,
frankly, I don't care either.
right.
Um, and mental health, it's not going to get any better for her because she has a reputation where she can't close events. And when it really comes down to it, she starts fucking yipping putts.
Right,
You can't shake that.
right.
Nor does she probably want to at this point. I mean, dude, she played in her first fucking US Open when she was like 11. She's played in 18 US Opens. She's 29 years old.
Yeah,
Like, that's fucking crazy.
yeah. That's pretty nuts.
So, 'cause that's the thing is like people are like crushing her. It's like, oh, whoa, so tough, whatever. Dude, if you want to be done, be done. That's fine. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think she has it in her to win anymore anyway. So, like, LPGA is a younger woman's game. I don't think she has it because every time it really comes down to it, she fucking yips it away. I mean yip. I'm not like using
right,
that. I
right,
literally yip.
right, right.
Like I've never seen someone yip 4-footers the way she does. So yeah, I mean, these fucking Asians are absolute machines. Like they're borderline fucking robots. Like, how do you
Yeah,
beat that?
right.
And she got absolutely fucked in the 2017. I think it was the A&A, whatever that major was, where they hit her mid round for a penalty from the day before.
Ugh,
Yeah, so it was from Saturday's round. There was a penalty. They hit her up with it mid final round. She had like a 4-shot lead or something. It was a 4-stroke penalty.
oh God.
She ended up going to the playoff, like in tears, like the whole fucking last 6 holes or something. So how the fuck she even got to that playoff is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
And then lost the playoff. It's like she got absolutely fucked in that 2017 year.
yeah, yeah. That sucks.
Now, that was also 7 years ago now. So it's like I'm almost
Yeah,
like, I wonder if that had something to do with it. It's like, dude, that was halfway through her career.
I know,
Like,
I know.
so I don't know. I mean, yeah, if he wants to be done, go ahead. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good. I mean, the these girls in college, they're fucking nasty. So
I mean, Nelly is nasty. She's been
yeah,
crushing.
she's nasty. Rose is nasty. The girls coming up are really good. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be different. Like the guys' game had like they've got guys coming up that are just fucking built different. Same thing with the girls.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the girl Andrea Lee today. I don't know, man. Like she's younger, but like, bro, you do not have the gas to go toe to toe with these girls. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's funny
especially the
you
ones
mentioned that.
that
Like,
got into like the American college system.
yeah,
Good fucking luck.
because I remember that was a talking point at Augusta with Ludwig, like because like all the announcers were talking about how like they couldn't believe that on a Sunday afternoon he was like walking down one of the fairways, like joking, laughing, like smiling, whatever. They were like, he's potentially like could win it. Like, he was within striking distance or whatever before he put his ball on the water on 11. Um, and everyone was just like, yeah, he's built different. Like that's what everyone kept saying about Ludwig, was that he's built different. He's just a different kind of guy where like he just doesn't get nervous. Now, whether or not you want to say nerves
Eh. I was gonna
got
say
to
like
him and
he
he
doesn't let the
yanked it in the
attitude get
water,
to him. Hey,
but
look, he hit it in the water on 11. Like
right, right.
I'm sorry, that's bad.
Yeah,
You cannot hit it in the water on 11.
right, right. But he played with Rico, right? And didn't Rico also hit it into the water?
Probably.
I feel like his playing, whoever his playing partner was.
I don't think it was Rico. It might have been Morikawa, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I don't think Rico was really in it.
No. Um, but yeah, I think whoever his playing partner was also hit it into the water.
Yeah, it
I
might
was
have been
like, what do you
Morikawa.
got?
'Cause
What are
it's
you
like,
guys
dude,
doing?
you guys cannot hit that ball in the water.
Right, right,
Like everybody knows that.
right.
And it's like, I don't
Um,
care. It's like, oh, obviously you hit a bad shot. You weren't trying to hit it in the water, but you need to have the fucking safeguard where you don't hit it into that fucking water.
right, right. So,
And
um,
my quick point on that is
yeah,
I think we can officially like RIP US Opens because um I even heard someone's talking point because like obviously like men's US Opens they're not as hard anymore. You know, ever since 2018 at Shinnecock, it was too hard. Zach Johnson, oh, they lost the course. Like the guys are bitching and moaning and whatever. So I don't think you can get a US Open because you're getting it now. Like, oh, Lancaster playing too hard. Nelly Quarter made a 10. It's like, no, Nelly Quarter made a 10 because she hit it into a bunker and then had to hit a bunker shot back towards the water.
right,
So that's the strategy. The safe spot is to go long, go into the back bunker. But now the difficult part is you need to hit a bunker shot back towards the pin.
right,
And if you don't hit it really, really, really good, it's going in the water. Like good shots rewarded, bad shots punished. Now, average shot might be punished, but
right,
then on her drop, she didn't take her medicine. She tried to play this bump into the hill, didn't get there. Tried to do it again, didn't get there. Like if she took so 3 in the water, 4 from the drop, she could have easily. Oh no, 2, 3 in the yeah 4 on the drop. Hit it on 2 putt. It's a 6. Triple sucks. Sure does.
yeah,
Save 4 shots. Probably still make the cut.
right,
So don't give me this. Oh, it's too hard. Did anyone else make a 10? I don't know. Do
right.
people make 10s in the US Open? Yes, they do.
Yep.
It's like, oh well, Rose Zhang, Brooke Henderson, Nelly, none of them are playing the weekend. It's not good for viewing. What if they all played like shit on the world's easiest course? Like,
Right,
stop.
right.
And then someone's point was, thus, I don't think we're gonna get a U.S. Open that's ever like that hard again. Like
I
men,
mean, I
women,
think
whatever.
the country club was pretty hard.
Yeah, but
I
it
mean,
was still like
Fitzpatrick won at 6 under.
it was still 6.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get a winner at even. or one under, or God forbid, one over, right?
Well, the other thing too is it's like Fitzpatrick. I mean, he had a really, really good shot out of that bunker, but like he wasn't really like hanging on the way down.
Right. Right.
Like that's the type of shit that used to happen in the US Open, like Phil notwithstanding, but like even in that same event, like Monty hitting a hosel adjacent ball into the bunker and took him completely out of it.
Right.
One swing, and you are fucking out of it.
Right.
That's the type of shit that I don't think you're gonna get anymore. And it sucks because it's like the US Open used to be that used to be the appeal. Now there is no appeal. It's like, yeah, it'll be 6 under at Pinehurst, probably. Um, yeah, there'll be some absolute ejections, but like if someone gets ahead, they're not gonna give it up. Like it's not
Right.
gonna happen.
Right.
But someone did make the point. If this was a men's US Open and Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy missed the cut, and Scheffler makes a 10 the way that Nelly did, guys would be bitching and moaning and I don't know, of course, I don't know why they need to set it up this hard. And it's I don't know, maybe the course isn't fair. And it's like, I don't know, maybe they lost the course. Zach Johnson, get him up there and his fucking Transamerica hat or whatever the fuck that thing is. So makes me wonder, are the women tougher than the men? Because they were not bitching about how hard the golf course was or any of that shit when the guys would be fucking losing their minds. And I'm starting to think that they are because they don't play for as much money. They don't play for as much prestige. They don't get as much respect.
Right.
And like when a course is hard, course is hard. Nelly, tough day at the office.
Yeah.
When the course is easy, they rip it apart. Just my thoughts.
Yeah. I think there's something to that.
It'll be like again, like you'll have if Pinehurst plays difficult, like really difficult, you'll have fucking guys bitch stupid green,
Yeah.
dumb hole, the setup sucks. Like that's
Yeah.
what you'll hear.
Right.
Tyrrell Hatton will be fucking flipping out. Or like
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler bitching at Colonial.
Yeah.
Stupid gear, stupid green.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
guys are pussies.
Yeah. All right. Really quick before we wrap things up, I thought this was interesting to just kind of share out there, but finally, The Rock has not come back. But finally, it looks like Harvard has kind of understood that they need to just keep their mouths shut, right? And stop inserting themselves on things that aren't related to academics. Because last week, um, Harvard came out and made an official statement that they will no longer make public statements on political, social issues, or political and social issues. The administration says. Um, so a report by a working group found that while the university is not a neutral entity, making statements about political or social issues is likely to alienate students and go against the school's mission. So in their statement, it says the university has a responsibility to speak out to protect and promote its core function, and they must speak out on issues directly relevant to the university's operation. The university and its leaders should not, however, issue official statements in public matters that do not directly affect the university's core function. So finally,
Smartest people in the world just figured that out.
they figured it out.
Maybe they're not so smart.
Hey, maybe we should keep our opinions to ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks, Harvard. Good on you.
Yeah, fucking
About time.
dumbasses.
It took your university to completely fall apart into shambles for you to figure that out.
Heard it here first. Harvard, not that smart.
Yeah, not that smart. All right. So you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up. Let me pull up one of these screenshots. I've got a bunch of screenshots. All right. Fake post. So let's not even pretend that it's real, right?
Right.
Augusta National is expected to open up the course for 1 week to the public in November of 2025. The rate per player is expected to be $10K. Augusta National is testing this out to see market demand. An Augusta representative said we donate 100% of these funds to our local community. Not real, right? They're not
Right.
doing that. They don't care.
Correct.
Augusta National, 10,000. It's not if you play, how many times do you play?
Is it
I'm thinking two, maybe three.
is it the one fee and then you can play as much as you
Oh
want?
no, definitely not.
It's
10K per round
but I'm guaranteed
to play.
to play.
Yeah, so it seems like one round is 10K. Again, this is fake, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm saying it's 10K per player. If this was real, they'd be like a lottery or whatever, so you probably wouldn't even get in, but
Right.
10K per round. How many rounds do you play?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play two.
I'm thinking two, maybe three. I don't know. It
Yeah.
would I mean, like whether I play three or not probably just depends on literally how much cash I have at the time. Um, or like how many people I need to blow in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you could jerk off
Increase your credit card limit.
you could jerk off a lot of people
Yeah.
with enough notice. So
Yeah.
at least two, maybe three.
Yeah. I'm
I'm gonna
probably gonna
be
play
there. And
two.
it's like yeah, it can't just be if like again in this hypothetical where it's just money. That's all it
Right.
takes.
Right.
I can't just play one.
Right.
Now, in the off chance that I ever get the opportunity, yeah, one's good. I'll take one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll even play in a light drizzle. Like I don't care. Whatever
Yeah.
it takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um yeah, I forget. I don't know who put that out. I think I screenshotted it from like Colorado Golf Blog or something. But
Yeah.
um yeah, some people will be like, oh, there's no way they would do this. Yeah, no shit. The most exclusive club in the world. They're gonna test market demand. It's high. Don't worry.
Right. Right.
You don't need to allow people on the course to know it's high.
Right.
I just told you it was. I did your market research.
Yeah. There you go.
One round, please.
Yeah. All right. So my final thought is I think is kind of nuts. I'm it's kind of blew my mind. So I was listening to the Drinking Bros podcast the other day, and in like one of their like casual side conversations or whatever, somehow it got brought up that George Washington had an ice cream addiction. And they like made a quick joke out of it. So like part of they have like a network, right? They have a podcast network, and one of the producers on the Drinking Bros show has his own podcast called Softcore History. So obviously it's a play on Dan Carlin's hardcore history and then also softcore porn because it's funny. So and so he pipes in, right? And he goes, "Oh yeah, no, this was a real problem for George Washington. Like he had a legitimate ice cream addiction." So they like laugh about it, they go on, and then they keep talking about other shit. But this is like stuck in my brain. Like, oh, did George Washington really have an ice cream addiction? Was this a real problem? Because they joked. So Dan Holloway made the joke, like, oh, is that why he used slave teeth? Because
Well, his teeth are made of
actually,
wool.
right. Yes, they were. But in real life, they were made out of slaves' teeth. He like yanked the teeth out of his slaves and put them in dentures. And Shane Gillis did a whole bit on it where he went through. Did you ever watch his special? Where he went through the George
Don't think
Washington
so.
Museum or Mount Vernon Museum during COVID. So he like had to go through the whole thing with a mask, and the woman was like not allowed to talk to him. And he goes at the very end of the tour, they have his teeth. And it's like such a bummer because you learn that like some of it is wool. It's or like wool. I said,
Well, Well, you get D and L confused.
Yes, obviously. Like some of it's made out of wood, but there's actual teeth there, and you learn that they're like from his slaves. So whatever. That's an aside. Um, so this is like sticking in my head. Like, did our first president, the guy that number one, G Dubs, did he have a real ice cream problem? So I look it up. Come to find out, this is true. George Washington had an actual ice cream addiction. So I'll just read this really quick for you. George Washington, the first president of the United States, had a sweet tooth for ice cream. According to historical records, he acquired a cream machine for ice at Mount Vernon, his estate, in 1784. Thus marked the beginning of a long-standing tradition of presidential ice cream socials. So during Washington's time, ice cream was a luxury item only accessible to the wealthy elite.
Why?
Colonial
Because
ice
there was no
cream,
such thing as fucking electricity or refrigeration.
yeah, probably. Um, Colonial ice cream was more liquid than modern ice cream and was often flavored with vanilla, chocolate, or fruit. The process was labor intensive, requiring ice to be cut from lakes and rivers during the winter months and stored in ice houses. So kind of tough, right? George Washington owned at least 10 ice cream makers when the first one he purchased was in
Were those also
1784.
slaves?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they were the ones doing the making.
That's what I
Um,
mean.
but no, like the machines, like he owned 10 ice
How is there a
cream
machine
making
if there was no
machines.
how do you hand crank fucking ice cream?
I don't know, but he had 10 of them. The makers were valued at $3 in 1799, a significant investment for the time. The ice cream maker was an essential tool for the enslaved cooks at Mount Vernon, making it
There you
easier
have
for
it.
them to prepare the luxurious treat. So there you go, there you have it.
So he wasn't all bad.
So there was an actual machine. Yeah, yeah,
They didn't have to do it by hand in a barrel.
right. And they had at least 10 of them. So whatever, they go on to say Washington's love for ice cream set the stage for future presidents, whatever. So George Washington spent approximately $200 on ice cream during the summer of 1790, which is equivalent to $5,000 today. Could you imagine spending $5,000 on ice cream in one summer?
So you're thinking even the most expensive ice cream would be what, $10?
Yeah, and that's going to be like egregious.
That's what I was thinking. That's like a large with all like extra shit.
Yeah, like in downtown Boston too.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, like a beach town.
Right, right.
So $10, 5K, that's 500 ice creams.
In one summer. Summer's only like 3 months, 4 months. So let's call it 4 months,
How many
30
days is
days.
that?
That's 120 days. So if he had 500 ice creams in
It's like
120
four ice
days,
creams a
that's
day.
4 ice creams a day.
Jesus Christ.
So in the summer of 1790, George Ice Cream, George Washington ate 4 ice creams a day. That's fucking insane.
They should teach this shit in math class. That was
This
pretty
is
good by us.
seriously. And all of it came from just listening to a podcast and like a nonchalant comment of like, oh yeah, George Washington's ice cream addiction.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, like everyone is supposed to
Yeah,
know that.
his teeth were made out of woolen slaves, and then
Yeah,
he loves ice cream.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I went and I looked it up and I was like blown away. That like, how do people not talk about this more? The guy spent 200, the equivalent of $5,000 today in one summer on 4 ice creams a day.
YouTube. So let's start a YouTube series. I can't, obviously. I won't tolerate such things. We'll need a sponsor. Sponsor just needs to get us 5,000. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for. You are gonna buy $5,000 worth of ice cream. So not only will you have diabetes, you'll probably weigh fucking 225, 240, something
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's just a testament to him and his good work ethic. If you ate he ate 4 ice creams a day for 4 months and like wasn't a fat piece of shit with diabetes,
I
like
mean,
that's
walking
impressive.
around with all those fucking wool clothes, like he must have sweat like a fucking beast, like
Yeah, I would imagine so.
in Virginia too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, nice and cool in the summers.
Riding horses all the time. Cause that's the other thing too. You have to remember in 1790, there's no cars, right? There's no bicycles, really. Yeah, I can't imagine anyone was riding a bike. They were just riding horses and walking everywhere. If you wanted to go from Virginia to Massachusetts, you had to get in a fucking wagon, a covered wagon with like 4 horses and just hit the road
So,
and hope you didn't die of dysentery and always buy bullets.
and chance it over the river.
So yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, train wasn't invented till 1804.
I feel like the bicycle had to have been invented.
1817.
Oh wow. No, it was not invented yet.
It's
So
probably one of those weird. It's one of those weird things, like how the lighter was invented before matches,
yeah, yeah,
which I don't know about that one. So I've heard that. I've never fact checked it, but
right,
I have heard that like matches the way we see them
right,
are a newer invention than the lighter.
right. So yeah, good old GW had a, I don't want to call it a crippling ice cream addiction because I don't know if it was that, but he was legitimately addicted to ice cream. And that's one of those things I wish they taught us in school because that would have got me to pay more attention. I'd been
Wouldn't have
like,
forgot that. It would have
yeah,
been a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and George Washington was a fucking fiend for ice cream.
yeah, yeah. So on that note, that's going to do it for us. We leave you with that. Don't forget to subscribe up above. Hit the thumbs up down below. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. Go to Spotify and iTunes and leave us a review and 5 stars. That would be great. Check out the show notes below. You get some links to and discount codes to all the sponsors, some cool products, and save some money. And that's going to be it. So until next time, good night, everybody.